Yeah, everyone, this is George from Stressful Sampling, and I'm really excited to show you our next product, which is called the Muted Seiler. And as you can probably imagine, this is a prepared piano. It's really crazy. We decided to experiment a lot while recording this, and we ended up plugging 120 earplugs or something of a sort between the strings of the piano, and also putting some paper there as well for a very plucky sound. So we ended up having the sound of I would say for me it's close to a muted bass guitar, acoustic bass guitar sound. So the first thing that we came up after hearing the sound of the samples, so after playing something like this, so the first thing that we that came to our mind was we should really create a very special sequencer for that. And yeah, long story short, this is how we ended up with some sort of a electroacoustic synth, something that we're really excited to show you. So the main patch, obviously, in this instrument would be the sequencer patch, which is a sort of an arpeggiator that you can control all the steps, and you can apply individual settings of the attack and the length for each of the steps. So let me just show you the basics of this tool, and afterwards I'm sure that you will see how deep you can go with sculpting your own sound with this sample library. As you can see, the GUI is very simple. You have settings of the arpeggiator, you have the steps, the rate, how many octaves it should go through, and percentage of swing. Also, you have the note order, which is S-plate, which I'm going to explain in a bit, to go up, and down, down and up. You have the option to initialize everything that you have done as settings, to save and load the presets. You also have built-in help and a round-robin reset button. To the right, you have presets that we have made. You just click on them and you will see that it will trigger different settings. And to the right, you have effects, like an effect chain. You have compression, chorus, flanger, distortion, EQ, convolution, with multiple unique impulse responses that will also help you achieve, a very different sound than what you initially start with. So yeah, let me just show you what you can do with the sequencer. So right here you have the velocity, which triggers actual dynamic layers that we have recorded. The unique thing about this is that when we first sampled the instrument and started playing it inside Contact as a very early alpha version of the library, the first thing that we wanted to do was to achieve the possibility of having an arpeggiator that will trigger different round robins. So this was very, very important for us, so that you can just play the same note and it wouldn't sound as a machine gun effect. Which can be really nice when you want to have a very punchy bass line. So let me just show you one of the presets that we've previously made. So when you start adjusting the velocity, you can have different sort of rhythms and accents. So in this case, we have 16 steps playing at the rate of a 16th note in the tempo of 120 BPM. And then you have the option to control the attack and the length of each of the steps. So you can control this globally by clicking Option in the case of Mac, or Out in the case of PC, and just dragging with the left mouse button. So you can hear that already we have a very interesting and distinct sound. But in order to make this even more interesting, let's say that all the very high steps in the sequencer, we can adjust the attack for them around 12 o'clock. And on the very soft ones, let me just make the even more exaggerated, we can really reduce the length. Right. So check this out. Alright, so let's try adding some effects. So maybe because of the lack of attack, maybe we can add a bit of compression. I'll adjust the threshold a bit, make it with a faster attack, faster release, and we'll increase the output. Okay, even faster release. Okay. Then let's add a bit of chorus. And a bit of distortion. Alright, and some EQ. And finally, let's try adding a bit of convolution reverb with, let's say, add stacks. As you can hear, it's pretty cool. So you can create like very, very different and distinct things that can help you with within your music writing. So and all those, for instance, convolution effects, obviously you have your general like reverb impulses, but we also created some sound effect, sound design impulse effects that you can trigger. So for instance, if I am to use the amplify beat patch, and I can add in the convolution of use on bass. And so before I just play you some of the presets that you can listen to, I just wanted to also explain this note order setting that's called S-plate. So when I click this, the arpeggiator or the sequencer will always perform the note order that I have played. So if I play C, B flat, F, E flat in a particular order, the arpeggiator will start following that order. Sounds great. So let me just show you some of the presets that we have made and that are accessible to you in the library. Another cool thing that you can also use is using the mod wheel to trigger in a filter. So this will give you even more interesting variation to the sound. The muted Seiler also has two other patches, which are ordinary sustains. You have the octave patches recorded in octaves, and also you have the ordinary, just normal sustains. So again, you have some of the presets for them, just for the effects chain, and yeah, I'm just going to play them for you so that you can have a listen. So this has been a quick first look at what the muted Seiler is all about. You probably noticed that you can achieve much more things with it. It's a very creative product, and that we really try to give as much freedom as possible, and to give you the possibility to create really cool sounds. And we have created a couple of demos on the website, which we try to be very different in style from one another. So you can hear that this can be added into different styles of music. So I hope this was really interesting for you. Thank you for watching, and yeah, till the next time. Cheers.